My God. I just found out the price. You will not believe how much this thing costs. The Realme X3 SuperZoom is one of the most affordable, actually, the most affordable flagship device ever created. Period. No kidding. Yes, this is only under $500, less than 25,000 pesos. The Realme X3 SuperZoom is one of the best smartphones that has come out this year. With this price point, it is amazing. All the specs that you will ever need on a flagship device: 120Hz display, 64MP camera, Snapdragon 855 Plus processor, a big RAM, and a very big storage. It's all here in this phone. I gotta say, I wasn't really impressed when I was unboxing this last week, but when I saw the price, I was like, whoa, that's too much. That's seriously, how could Realme have the confidence to be selling this phone at that price point? I was like, that's impossible. How could they? Realme, you are destroying the competition. Wow. But hey, price is just one thing. What about the actual experience I got with this? I have been using this phone as my daily driver for 1 week now, more or less. And so far, it has been a great experience. Really interesting stuff right here on this phone. And if you want to know more about it, just sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. And without further ado, let the review begin.
No.
Okay, so we're done with the unboxing video. We've seen what's inside, but we have a lot of questions regarding the actual phone experience itself. Is it actually good? First and foremost, the design. Historically, this is the first flagship device from Realme, and by the looks of it, it does look like a flagship device. Well, somehow. It does have the makings of a flagship device, like that Gorilla Glass back, scratch resistant, very durable material. And look, it looks a lot more premium than its mid-range counterparts. See that? Anti-glare. Very nice surface. But no matter where you look at it, it still looks like a mid-range phone. Seriously, it still looks like the Realme 6 and the 6 Pro. From the placement of the cameras, the logo, maybe if I move closer, nah, they still look pretty much the same. Although that anti-glare 3D glass makes it look a little bit more premium than the Realme 6. But seriously, if you compare the Realme X3 to today's flagship device like the Oppo Find X2 Pro, iPhone 11 Pro, Samsung Galaxy S20 Ultra, and the Huawei P40 Pro Plus, it doesn't really come close to those kind of designs. They definitely look more expensive and more premium, thus having a much bigger price tag. You will notice it, that it's not really on that league. Not yet, but it's almost there. It's just that it still looks like a Realme phone. They could have changed it a bit, the camera placement, make it more rectangular or square, just like the other flagship devices. But no, it still looks like this, just with a periscope camera this time. But what am I saying? The pricing on this thing is like 1/3 of the price of those flagship devices. My friends, this is only $500, 25,000 pesos. You getting me here? I'm sure you are. So regarding its looks, it's pretty okay. It's beautiful, it's pleasing to the eye, and that back is just looking pretty nice. I like it, although it's kind of slippery right here at the back. There's not much friction. And like I told you, the back is very curvy. That is perfect for scrolling, playing games on landscape. It is a very ergonomic design. I love it. It feels really good on the hands. So using the phone for long periods of time is pretty okay. You won't get any strain or whatsoever. Another thing that I liked about the back is that it's very minimalistic. Just the camera, the LED flash, and the logo. No fingerprint scanner, because it's right here at the power button. Now, one thing that I don't like about the design is that it's quite big. It's huge, it's chunky, and it's very heavy. Although, compared to their mid-range segment, it kind of feels a lot more sturdy. Yes, the construction, the build quality is just so much better. Almost flagship-like. But I wouldn't say it's almost the same as a true flagship device when it comes to the build quality. Still, a Samsung Galaxy S20 Ultra or a Huawei P40 Pro Plus is still the much better feeling phone. Those are definitely on the league of their own. But hey, Realme has got something here. I'm just not sure if that's a metal body, because there's no antenna bands. Okay, so it might be plastic, I'm not sure. Usually, if it has a metal body, it has antenna bands to boost the signal. Also, it still does not have any scratches at the back, even after 1 week of usage without a gel case. That is incredible. Still very smooth. If I were to sell this right now in FB Marketplace, I would say it would be 99.9% smooth, RFS, I need some funds upgrading phone. Rush, it's the only phone available right now. PM is the key. Selling this for 15,000. Just kidding. Now let's go over the sides. It pretty much is the Realme 6 Pro. The power button is the fingerprint scanner right here. And it's pretty okay, pretty fast. Nice and clicky power button. Wait, the power button feels kind of flimsy. And at the left side you get the volume rockers. Up here you get the microphone, noise cancelling. And right here below you get the speaker, USB Type-C port, microphone, and the SIM tray. Which is a dual nano SIM card slot with no micro SD card slot, because it's a flagship device. I don't know, man. That is a red flag for most people who are dependent on a micro SD card for expandable storage. But you know what? It's okay. This is the only variant which has a 256 gigs of internal memory. What? 256 gigs? That is huge. It also has 12 gigs of RAM. For only 500, you get 12 gigs, 256. But what's not incredible is that it lacks a headphone jack. Realme, why? It totally has the thickness to get a headphone jack. And it does not even have water resistance to back that up. Like seriously, that is a big hassle. A bit of a bummer. Cause if you have your favorite headphones with you, no. And I don't even think it comes with a dongle. Oh my god. What were you thinking? No dongle. Oh well, maybe that's the reason why it's being bundled with the Realme Buds Air. Yes, my friends, if you buy this right now on Lazada, you will get the Realme Buds Air for free. That is worth 3,990 pesos. More details on that in a bit. We got a lot of promos. I'm excited, and I'm pretty sure you are as well. So just continue watching. I got some really nice promos for you, discounts, and things like that. It is wireless, so yeah. Okay, so far so good. And now, for the much more exciting part. Friends, there are 3 things that make me excited about this phone. Number 1, it has a Snapdragon 855 Plus processor for $500. Number 2, it has a 64MP quad camera setup with 60 times SuperZoom technology. But the best of them all is this. The 120Hz refresh rate display. It is fast, very smooth, just very fluid motion to the eyes. If you have not experienced a 120Hz or any high refresh rate phone ever, this is the perfect time. This is really affordable. And I'm telling you right now that this is really fast. For example, when you're scrolling here in Facebook, everything will look very smooth. Look at that smooth scrolling. Oh my god. And in the homepage, in Instagram, scrolling on a web page feels kind of different from the usual. But I'm warning you, if you decide to go for a high refresh rate, then there's no going back. If you go back to 60, you will feel it. You will see it. You'll see that everything feels really slow. 60 Hz, oh my god, that looks laggy. And right here, I got a very fast device. I am telling you, there is no going back. Now the only thing that's bothering me here is that it's still an IPS display. Really? But I think it's okay. It may not have the fine, exuberant colors of an AMOLED display, but still, the display looks pretty fine. Colors are quite okay, but if you're coming from an AMOLED display, well, you will see the difference. Contrast is just not there, just not as punchy as an AMOLED display. Blacks are just not as black. But then again, you just need to ask yourself over and over again, how much is this again? It is still incredible despite the lack of AMOLED. I would say if you're playing games, watching Netflix, or looking at pictures, everything will look pretty okay. Not spectacular, but okay. Has thin bezels, at the sides, very thin chin. It's almost perfect. Just that it has a dual punch hole display, which unfortunately will affect your viewing experience in YouTube, Netflix, and even in gaming. Although in gaming, your thumb is gonna cover that hole, and voila, it looks like it's disappeared. That is the correct placement. Now let's move on to more important things. The gaming part. Like I told you, I already tried this for more than a week now, and so far, the performance has been stellar. I did a lot of ranked games here, and everything just worked so smoothly. No lag whatsoever. It is by far the smoothest experience you will get on a Realme device. This is the fastest one out there. So that's right, you get ultra graphics, ungrayed out, HFR mode right out of the box, and shadows, it's all here. And it does not have that sickness when the messenger pops up. It still works fine Unlike the other phones that I've tested that are mid-range phones, when the messenger pops up, usually the whole game collapses, like it lags, and you have to relaunch the game. But right here on the Realme X3 SuperZoom, I did not find any of that issues. Thanks to that powerful Snapdragon 855 Plus processor, it is a beast. I would say 100% of the time, there was no lag. Everything just played out really smooth. This was by far the best I have ever experienced on a Realme device. Like, whoa. Also the same with Call of Duty and PUBG. Especially on Call of Duty. You know it. It has all the settings, very high graphics, and max frame rates. It's all here. It is very much optimized. And just like Mobile Legends, it just plays out very smoothly, no matter how many games I have played here on Call of Duty. So, yeah. Now, what about the sounds? The sounds on this thing is pretty okay. It's not shockingly good, although it is very loud and very clear in max volume, so no problem with distortion or any kinds of messy audio at max volume. Last but not least, I have tried PUBG at max settings. Here we go. Here's the graphics you will get on PUBG. HDR, extreme frame rates. Again, this is a flagship processor, well, at least last year, but still, it still holds up even today. As you can see, there is no lag. It's smooth, it looks beautiful, very playable. This is truly incredible for something that's priced at under $500 or 25,000 pesos. Again, here's the Antutu benchmark score, 478,000 points. If you're gonna buy this phone solely for gaming, I'm gonna tell you right now, that is the best choice ever. This phone can definitely game. It provides you flagship-like performance at a very affordable price. It pretty much handled every game, every heavy game on the Play Store without any hitches, so this is the real deal. Yeah. But wait, Vince, you haven't really covered the battery yet. What's the battery on this thing? Well, that's the thing. It only has a 4,200 milliampere battery, which I think is pretty small for something this huge. I mean, it could accommodate at least 5,000, maybe 6,000 milliamperes. Given its weight and size, I was expecting that that was the case. But no, it's only 4,200 milliamperes, and that's a problem, because here's a sample of that battery test. Tried a ranked game on Mobile Legends, and this was the battery life left during that game. And after banning and picking heroes, which took about 2-3 minutes, this was the battery left on the device after that. So 2% was slashed just for that. So clearly that indicates that the battery on this thing is not really that good. Or should I say, it is really power hungry. Even though I have set the refresh rate to auto, which should go back to 60 Hz when playing Mobile Legends, because definitely Mobile Legends cannot play at greater than 60 Hz or 60 FPS. So yeah, the battery is pretty shaky for now. I guess, what does this mean? Is it not good? Is it good or not? Well, it's okay. There's no problem. That's because the charging is just so fast. I drained the phone all the way to 0, and these are the results. In just 10 minutes, I already got 27%. In 15, I already got 40%. 30 minutes, already at 65%. And 1 hour, it's already charged up to 100. OMG. That is the power of the Dart technology on this phone, which is just a rebrand of VOOC. But then VOOC is one of the fastest charging technologies on Earth. If it just had Super VOOC technology, it would have been finished. But hey, it's still fast, and it kind of resolved the battery issue a while ago. So there you go. Now before we go to the cameras, this is worth mentioning. It's software. The Realme X3 is running on Realme UI. It's simple, it's clutter-free, it's almost like stock Android, and it's running on Android 10. And the best thing about the software is that it complements the display very well because of the animation. Yes, swiping around the screen is pretty fast. The animation is good, very zippy. You will just love the transitions. It really complements the whole high refresh rate thing. Now coming to the cameras, I would say the cameras are pretty okay. If this is branded as a flagship, well, compared to other flagship devices, it's not really on par to a Huawei P40 Pro Plus, a Samsung Galaxy S20 Ultra, or an Oppo Find X2 Pro, but it's fairly decent. That's what matters. Not really sure if it's a Sony sensor or a Samsung one. I think it's a Samsung one. It's just that it's kind of lacking that punch, that sharpness, and overall image quality that I am looking on a flagship device. For example, this chain here is not really that sharp, as you can see. It's kind of soft in some parts. On other flagship cameras, this is fairly sharp. It's just lacking in details. I don't know, it's like what I said on my unboxing video, it is above average. The dynamic range is average, color is okay, and yes, it does have an ultra wide angle lens, so the camera is very versatile. And that gives you the ability to cram in more stuff into the picture. It's got that fish eye type effect, which is kind of warpy, like. Plus, it has a macro lens, so just go ultra macro. You're now able to get some macro shots right out of the phone. But of course, the main selling point of this phone is its super zoom technology, up to 60 times. Like I told you last week, there are only a few instances where you will use that super zoom. Well, since we're all inside of our houses, it's not really that usable right now. Because I was thinking that it was perfect for taking pictures of wild animals. For example, some lions, and you don't want to get near because that is kind of dangerous. So currently, the only use for this is, you've guessed it, taking pictures of interstellar objects. The moon, the sun, the stars, I think they're the same. But yeah, here's a picture of the moon using that super zoom. And as you can see, it's definitely not the sharpest look of the moon. But yes, this is now totally possible because of that 60 times zoom. Even though it's not that sharp, being able to reach the moon is something that not many phones can actually do. And if you're into astrophotography, then this might be the perfect phone for you. Speaking of astrophotography, we've got a new feature here that you should take a look at. This is what they call the starry mode, which helps revealing more stars in the sky during the night. So if you're really into stars, then yeah, it has that. Now coming to the video, if you haven't seen my unboxing video yet, well, I did mention that at 1080p, 30 frames per second, it is very stable. You can add more stabilization with the ultra steady mode. Just that it adds an extra crop to your view. So it's a little bit zoomed in, but you do get a much more steady shot. Also, another thing is that at 60 frames per second, it still retains that stabilization if you turn on the ultra steady mode, which is pretty nice. You don't get that on other phones. 60 FPS is usually unstable. Last but not least is 4K 60 FPS. Yes, it can go all the way to 4K 60 FPS. And still with stabilization. But you're not able to use the ultra steady mode in 4K, unfortunately. But if I were you, I would just get a gimbal, an actual one, if you want to shoot in 4K. So, how much is this phone? That is the big question. Well, here it is. The Realme X3 SuperZoom is only 24,990 pesos only. 12 gigs of RAM, 256 gigs of internal storage. It is truly one of the best bang for the buck smartphones on the market right now. That is only $500, my friends. Now that is what I'm talking about. But that is not all. We still have the promos. Since you stick to the end of the video, I got some really nice deals for you. Well, if you decide to buy the phone on July 9th to July 17th, you will get a free Realme earbuds, which is 3,990 pesos for free at select concept stores, kiosks, nationwide. That is the pre-order period, July 9 to July 17. That's the offline one. There's also an online one, which is Lazada. If you decide to pre-order on Lazada on July 9th only, you will get the Realme Buds Air worth 3,990 pesos. Last but not least is the Realme Watch. Yes, they are launching the Realme Watch along with the Realme X3 SuperZoom, which is 3,990 pesos. That is a special offer on Lazada, 7.15 mid-year sale. Get 1,000 pesos off from SRP. There you go. Now personally, I think this phone is one of the best phones you can buy at this price point. Currently, there's no Xiaomi phone that could match this. This is incredible. So, what do you think? Are you going to buy the Realme X3 SuperZoom or not? Let me know guys in the comments below. And if you like this video, please drop a like. And if you want more awesome content from this channel, more interesting smartphones just like this, don't forget to subscribe, hit that bell icon so that you don't miss any of my great content. This is Vince the Maker from TechBeans, and I'll see you on the next video.